Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Starladder coverage. I'm Sayori. With me is Merlini.
I accidentally cut myself shaving.
Oh no!
I know. I had a big band-aid there.
Oh, I think the Band-Aid's worse. You gotta just own it. It's a battle
It's
scar.
dangerous.
Going ham with the razor.
Life of a Dota player is dangerous. Well, our first match of the day is VP versus Q Cyber Insane Gaming. Q Cyber one word, Insane Gaming also one word.
Yep. And
I don't think you can make these things one word.
I don't know. It's Virtus.pro. I've always wondered why the dot. Does that have some sort of? Why not just VirtusPro?
I'm not sure. A lot of these names confuse me. I'm just confused. Dazed and confused.
Oh boy. So let's look at the standings here. We've got VirtusPro. They've played 8 games. They're 5-3. They have a startlingly good record. Still a lot
calling
of games
them bad?
to go. Well, they have that name VirtusThrow for a reason. I don't know. They haven't impressed in last seasons of Starladder, but maybe this is their season, huh?
They're inconsistent.
Yes, very inconsistent. And Insane,
But when they're good, they're good.
Yes, Insane, they're bottom of the pack. 0-8. So it's been a struggle. The struggle has been real for Insane Gaming, huh, Merlini?
Yes, it has. Looks like they will have a stand-in today. Tipo, who has been standing in for a lot of other, maybe a
Come
lot
on,
of other
Merlini.
games.
Impress our Russian fans. Call him Tron.
I'm just gonna call him TPOH.
When you call him T-Po, I think of T-Pain. I like T-Po.
He could be black. You don't know.
It has nothing to do with race. It just has to do with T-Pain being very comical as a musician whose whole thing is auto-tune. Doesn't that negate your ability to consider yourself a musician when auto-tune is what makes you stand out as a singer, rapper?
I'm not sure. I don't know about this fiasco.
You don't know T-Pain?
I know about T-Pain. I don't know about his auto-tune.
If you don't know about auto-tune, then what do you know
No,
about
I know
T-Pain?
about auto-tune, but I don't know about... I don't know. I know some of his songs. I know of some of his songs.
Yeah, and it was probably like, all like tune
I'm not really a big fan of T-Pain.
Yeah.
I'm not even a little fan of T-Pain.
Me neither. The only thing I know about him is he was on a boat that one time.
Oh!
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
My friend was listening to that song. He's like, you know what? I bet that's the first time he's ever heard the word Poseidon.
What is that?
I don't know. That's just what my friend said. I thought it was mildly comical.
I need to meet more of your friends. You have all these weird anecdotes about this. One time, my friend said, and it's just like, who? You can't even write this shit. What is this?
Okay, going to this draft. VP
Okay.
with the... will it be a Carry Naga? Looks like it will be a Carry Naga. Offlane Nyx Assassin. These are... I don't know.
Dota
Kind of pretty VP-esque lineup. They like Disruptor and Shadow Shaman as their supports a lot.
Yeah.
Like, way often.
I'm surprised they didn't grab Shadow Shaman here. They are dire after all.
Shadow Shaman's not that great here. I mean,
He's
he's not that great in general. But
could
they are
use some more.
they are dire, so it's a little bit
And
better.
they could use some more crowd controls. I mean, Disruptor and AA, I don't
Please,
think
you got
they're-
silence, bro. You got Disruptor.
Please.
Please.
Ooh, the
Virtus
Wraith King,
Pro's
final
turn
pick
to
for
pick.
Cyber Q Cyber Insane Gaming. Now, how are they gonna run this? Let's see, it's probably a position 1 Wraith King, offlane Centaur, and that means it'll be a mid TA. But wow, another farming Wraith King.
Does G play Naga? I don't actually know. Because
It might not be a mid Naga.
Insane believes that they haven't
10
picked the carry
seconds
yet, which
remaining.
means Nyx Assassin off, Naga mid. That's at least what Insane is thinking.
5 seconds
Right.
remaining.
And Q's VP also been out of Clockwork, so they don't think that the Centaur
Reserve
is in the
time.
off lane. I don't know.
Yeah,
Everyone's confused here.
this is, well, I mean, it's sort of a hard draft to read. You could run Centaur as a position 1. I see where the confusion's coming from, but I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've seen God play Naga, and I can't think of a specific time.
I don't think so either. Well, there's always that Dota. That Dota.
I'm having issues with my headset, so give me...
Search for G, and nothing comes up. I have to manually go here.
Okay, well, VirtusPro, they're going to take their time thinking about this. They may be wondering where they're best suited to run this Naga as well. And I mean,
He has played 0 Naga games.
Yeah,
Ever.
That might be why they're struggling a bit here. They're gonna grab a Venomancer. It's probably gonna be Veno mid, and
Is
then
it?
a
I don't
safe
know.
lane Naga.
I think it's going to be a Naga mid, because if they put Venom mid, then that means they don't have any...
Nick's getting
Okay,
off lane.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
see, look at that.
Okay. Well, I was
playing
like,
a little Veno.
farming Veno. Has he played Venomancer?
Well, I know you don't like farming Veno, but
I
that
do
doesn't mean
like
not
it.
gonna do it.
They played 2 games of Venomancer. Well, looking at Q Cyber
Wow.
Insane Gaming's, they have Wraith King carry, which is not the best versus Nick Assassin, and they have plenty of ways to kite him with a Venomancer, with an AA, with his Aura, with Ensnare, with this Raptor and his Kinetic Field.
I
with
can't
Nyx.
remember. How do you feel about
Prepare
Wraith
for
King?
battle.
Wait,
He's
what's
decent.
your ranking?
He's
As a
decent.
carry, like 50%?
He's way more situational than other carries, I think.
Okay.
He is he even carry this game? No, I think he's support. Oh,
No,
he's
Inquisitor
carry,
usually
yeah.
farms.
He's like in a bad lineup, he's like 3 out of 10. In a decent lineup, he's like 6.5 out of 10.
So what denotes a good lineup versus
A
a
good
bad
lineup is like a pretty good Roshan lineup, one that makes sure that he doesn't get kited very often.
I guess he suffers similar
or-
problems that Lifestealer does.
Or if he's a good front line. We saw a sniper game yesterday where Skeleton King, I believe, was it Skeleton King? I believe Skeleton King was like a front line for a sniper. That's pretty good too. I don't
okay.
really think he's that great as a primary carry though. So like they have TA for secondary damage, and if they focus TA,
30
Skeleton King's gonna
seconds
go
to
him.
battle.
They focus Wraith King, then TA is just gonna wreck their faces too. And they have Centaur, so he doesn't get kited as much. They also have a Dazzle to keep him alive to augment his damage. So all in all, I think this is a pretty good Wraith King game. Maybe like a 6 out of 10.
Look at this positioning from Big Num and Tron. They are hungry, and
They're off blood.
they might find some canned
What
nugget
if-
for breakfast.
Yeah.
Or no, it's gonna be the Veno.
Can Venomancer?
Ugh.
But if you gank a Veno, it's just Veno. Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
A lot of resources here. Let's look at these rosters, though. We'll have plenty of time to talk about it. I'm sure this will probably be a farm-intensive game. Lots of carries. On the Radiant side, we've got the Q Cyber Insane Gaming. Yeah, Q Insane. It's too many words. We've got Tron, their stand-in, playing on the Bane Elemental. Big Num playing on the Dazzle Shadow Priest. Show me.
Don't miss first blood.
Solo mid, and don't you worry, man. I'm looking at the mid. There's a reason I introduced these heroes first. And look, God's on the run already. He's just going to leave the lane. He says, you know what, show me. You can go for it. You get this first round. These are on me. Have a round on the Venomancer. We've got Big Num playing on the Dazzle. Show me here on the Templar Assassin. We've got Judo playing on the Centaur War Runner as God makes his way back to the lane. And up top, it'll be Inquisitor in an off-lane Wraith King, though. It looks like it will be an aggro try as the supports are roaming over.
I like Brewmaster's voiceovers in Dota 1. 'Cause he's like, have one on the house. That's one of the better lines. It's much better than
That is
a
a
blah blah.
blah blah blah. Do
Tipo looking for initiate, but
you want to introduce the Dire?
not one to be found. JOTM playing the Ancient Apparition. G playing the solo mid Venomancer. Illidan on that carry Nagar. NS playing the Disruptor, and AA on the off-lane Nyx. Centaur should do pretty well versus Nyx Assassin.
Yeah.
He does have a Pro Man Shield, but it's 4-0 versus a 6-0 Centaur.
Yeah. Show me. He takes a Gale, but he's pretty well equipped to deal with it. I mean, Veno does cut through the refraction pretty quickly, but TA still not struggling much against this Venomancer. 7-5 against the 3-0 Veno. So this doesn't seem to be going too well. Not only is Veno getting very little, which isn't that big of a deal, it's more so this TA is the leader in last hits right now, which is always a little bit scary.
I don't actually think the Venom mid suits VP's playstyle too. G is usually a tempo controller, like a Storm Spirit.
Invoker.
Yeah, pretty much any other solo mid that you'll see common and competitive.
Any other solo mid, just not Venomancer.
Just not Venomancer.
Yeah. I just worry about this VirtusPro lineup, where Q and Sane have a lot of carry power, but they also have carries that'll do a lot of damage in the mid-game. Wraith King, like around level 7, he's got that massive stun nuke. He might be critting. Not too hard, but a little bit crit here and there. Show me, you know, he'll be able to do some damage even with basic items on this TA. And VirtusPro, they don't have a very tanky lineup, and this Naga is the majority of their damage. And if Illidan tries to go for the Radiance, I worry that they might just get run over before that big ticket item comes
They can't
out.
stall with Plague Wards and A Ultimate and whatnot, and they do have the Wamba combo with Naga ult into Disruptor, Static Storm, Kinetic Field, so it's not all bad for VP. It's just they don't really have a good option until Naga gets huge, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. And even playing on the back foot, I don't think they really have the carry advantage here.
I don't.
TA, Wraith King, and Centaur. I mean, Centaur's not really a carry, but he does a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's questionable. Well,
I,
the odds are actually 80-20 in favor of VP. So
wow. Well, based on the group standings, I'd say that's fair if people are betting just based on, like, all right, this team's 0-8, VirtusPro, we know who they are. They're 5-3 right now. Based on those statistics, I see where those numbers are coming from, but that seems a little bit high.
it does seem a little bit high.
So
Inquisitor and company have had some pretty decent upsets. I forgot what team they were on last season.
Aspera.
Yeah, they had some decent upsets last season.
Yeah, they did. The biggest problem with these guys is Big Num was playing with them a bit as well. I forget who they were before they were Aspera. They might have been. I can't remember now. It was too many seasons ago, but they
There's
just
a
had stability
triple stack
issues.
in the jungle.
Yeah.
And it's a hot point of contest. Looks like Insane will come out on top.
Yeah, Wraith King racking up those last hits there. TA will grab this 4-minute rune. It is a double damage, so Veno needs to be a little bit careful.
XP lead actually goes to the Dire because that pull is not blocked, and gold lead goes to Insane because TA is just rocking G's face.
Yeah. Just about doubling his last hit score here, 12-23 at the moment. Now we see Inquisitor. He'll actually use a salve. It looks like VirtusPro might want to get a little feisty here. Naga uses the illusions. There's the ensnare. They're going on to Tron. Kinetic Field to break up the fight. And Tron could be in some trouble here. Now JOTM, the one taking some damage. Nice grave comes out onto the Bane, but it's not going to be enough. He's still destined to fall, but they will get the first blood. It is enough to turn it around that way. There's the Stampede from the Centaur. Dazzle will make it out. And Inquisitor just stands his ground. He wants this Disruptor, but I don't think he's going to find it. And, oh, maybe he will. He had just enough mana for that Wraithfire Blast. That'll make it a 2-for-1 up in the top lane. And also solo mid. Chomi with that double damage. He was able to get a solo kill on the Venomancer.
Nice Stampede coming out from Centaur, helping out his team. He has a Quelling Blade, actually. He should be way on top of last hits. He only has 4 more last hits than AA, going with the last hit build.
Yep.
Surprising.
That Quelling Blade.
Nyx needs a TP, I think, for situations like that. If he's level 6, need to get some kills. They need a secure farm for Naga. That's the most important thing for them. Yeah, if mid loses, whatever. That's secondary compared to Naga getting crushed.
Yeah, Judo's in big trouble down here in the bottom. God connects with an easy Gale, but Dazzle ports in. There's the heal. The shallow grave, and see you later, Nyx Assassin. They'll make it a turnaround the other way.
And a deny.
And, yep,
What a player, Big Num.
Well done.
That is kind of nice.
Dazzle.
The shallow grave into double edge, free damage.
Yeah. And up top, we could see another initiation breakout. It is a 2v3 as Dazzle's already ported out. Inquisitor's on the run. He's only level 4, so he won't have 2 lives coming up. And Tron, he'll take a lot of damage, but he scoots back to the tower as well.
I think he expected the Wraith King to die there. JOTM did, and he actually cast Cold Feet on the support instead of focusing everything down on the Wraith King. He's still level 4 too, so no reincarn for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and this is part of the problem with this tri-lane, though. They just don't have a lot of damage. I mean, Disruptor, he's forced to go Thunder
You got
Strike.
Chilling Touch, bro.
Yeah, but still not enough, apparently. Tron, he'll take a net. There's the Chilling Touch coming out, but another Stampede. And Tron will be just fine. Oh, this Centaur, he is worth his weight in gold right now. Well done.
Well, Inquisitor TP's back, but he's at like 2/3 HP. They need to get him level 6 ASAP so they don't really have to worry about constantly having 2 supports in this lane protecting them. But Insane is just having much better teamwork right now. Centaur's helping out their top lane. We have Dazzle helping out bottom lane. And yeah, VP's rotating with the Venomancer, but Q Insane coming out way on top of these early rotations. 3,000 gold in favor of Insane and 2,000 experience, and I think it's only going to get worse from here. Naga Saturn, she has Arcane Boots and Quelling Blade. So if she wants her Radiant, she needs to farm 3,700 gold right now, which is really hard. Because Q Insane, they have a very mid-game centric lineup. Like
Yeah.
they're not geared for late game, but they can go late game if need be. But their strength is really in the mid game, and if they have the mid game map control, they can just take out Roshan. They can push down towers. And VP, they just have like Venom Wards. They don't have level 6 on their supports. They're not even close. AA is only level 3, so I think that VP's not in for a good early mid game at all.
Yeah, and with Arcane Boots on the Naga, that might be a sign that Illidan is not going to go for the Radiance Rush. We very rarely see the Arcane Boots come out. I guess you can split them, so you could turn into BOTs afterwards, but that's one of the core things about the Radiance build, is we usually see Yasha Boots of Travel first 2 items after the Radiance is up and that farm is kicked in, because that movement speed is so crucial to Naga's farming efficiency and kind of snowballing out of control. So we'll see. We'll see where he goes from here. And even if he wants to go carry, Arcane Boots aren't really ideal. So
The Fusel Blade's pretty good versus the Wraith King, but they need the Radiance, I think. Like,
yeah.
their late game is just gonna be poo-poo.
Yes, poo-poo indeed, as Templar Assassin has now gone Hand of Midas early on, since Chomi's farming so well. The last hit leader by a large margin, sitting at 49. Got the solo kill, and holy Toledo, 3.8k on the net worth. The highest on the Dire is Naga at only 2.3k, so needless to say, this TA is already balling out of control, and it's just going to get worse once that Midas really starts to kick in. So I agree with you.
I want to
think
see more
VirtusPro
TA.
yeah, in a little trouble.
TA's pretty owned.
Yeah, TA's solid. She needs a good start, though.
Yeah. The supports did a
her
good job
problem.
of securing her lane.
Could see a fight break out up top. Inkvisitor is now level 6, so he's got that Reincarnate, the big slow, as well as a second life. And Big Numb actually a little bit low on mana here on the Dazzle. He'll have enough for a shallow grave, and that's it. Unless he gets some serious wand charges here. It looks like Venomancer will be coming around the side. Has an illusion rune. Gale just barely connects with Tron. There's the glimpse back, and this should be a pretty easy kill on the Bane. That's a 4v1 in the kinetic field, and VirtusPro will add another one to the scoreboard.
Nice use of the glimpse. However, VP did rotate 5 heroes to the top lane. Now Chomi just more than happy to farm away in mid and push that tower. This will force a TP out from G. But in the bottom lane, Centaur just farming away too. He's just 500 gold away from his Blink Dagger. So yeah, Insane gave up death, but it was only on a Bane. He's only level 4 anyways, and they got a lot out of their other lanes. And
you know, looking at the Centaur, you usually don't think to yourself, oh, Centaur is farming, we need to address that. But at this stage, Centaur getting a really early blink, especially before the 10-minute mark, is kind of the make it or break it between your earlier mid-game having a rough time. The earlier Centaur gets the blink, the earlier he's going to be roaming around, jumping in your face, and doing a lot of damage to these squishy heroes like Venomancer. Once he has blink and that slow becomes a little bit less useful, Hoof Stomp, Double Edge, that's most of God's health. He only has 750 hit points. So I worry about this decision to basically leave Judo unchecked. He is now 100 gold off the blink, and he'll have it momentarily.
Yeah, how's Nick's assassin status? He's just 5. He only has 500 gold in his inventory.
I mean, his farm isn't that awful since he has Arcane Boots. The problem is that he's 0, 1, and 1 and almost level 8. We've seen this before where Nick's assassin hits level 6, and he's almost scarier if he's just missing off the map farming in the jungle, because then you have to think to yourself, where's Nick's assassin? Is he on top of me? Could I be getting ganked right now? But when he's just sitting in lane farming, you know you're safe. You know he's just hanging out, and he's just not that much of a threat. As you've said before, Merlini, his name says it all. He is indeed an assassin.
Centaur's a war runner, but he's not running around.
Well, he will be once he gets a Blink Dagger.
He will be.
He's used Stampede a couple times. He's been running.
He's been making other people run.
Well, himself included.
It's a run over creeps. He's like he's trampling those creeps.
It is a good feeling when you pop like Stampede for someone else and you just have those few moments of like, I'm just cruising around in circles. I've got, you're using it even if you don't have to.
Yeah. Do you think that Ultimate needs a rework? Do you think Centaur needs a buff or a nerf?
No, I think he's okay. I think he fits in nice and tight-like into the metagame right now. He's got a couple unique skills. I would say he might be a little bit too bursty. I don't know. Double Edge is the one ability that I kind of
Too bursty?
Yeah. Well, it does a lot of damage to him, but 400 damage straight up is a lot.
I don't think it's that.
And it doesn't cost any mana.
I think Double Edge is actually very underwhelming.
You think so? You think it's like...
It's 400 AoE, it's melee.
Yeah, and it's AoE, Jesus.
But it's a very small AoE. It's melee, and it has a pretty decently long cast time.
Yeah.
too, so you can like Nick Assassin can just easily spike Carapace it. Do you
Okay.
take double damage if you spike Carapace? Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I've never actually seen that.
That would be like a 600 damage Nick to
Radiant's
himself.
middle tower
That would
is
be
under
really big. Yeah, no, I think Centaur is pretty good. I like the way his return works, how it's a set amount and then there's a strength piece, so it scales a little bit. Yeah, I think Centaur is okay. I don't have a big problem with him.
I think he's
Dyer's
alright.
top tower
I
is
actually
under
think he might
attack.
need a slight buff.
Yeah, if I had to choose and I couldn't say he's okay, I would err on the side of he could use a very minor buff. But I don't think he's particularly weak. I think there are other heroes that need help before Centaur.
Yeah, that's true. I think Starladder is most of the times a lot stronger than Centaur, but I guess they serve different purposes.
Well, they serve some overlapping purposes, but they do also have some different
Yeah.
things.
I mean, Slither and Crush is just like way better than Hookstop though. It's 8-second cooldown.
Look at this. God is
Jesus,
just.
oh my goodness.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say I called that one. As soon as Centaur gets his
Oh,
blink,
he
see you
gets
later, Venno.
glimpsed.
But Static Storm, Kinetic Field, and they'll make it a recovery kill. So Venno for the Centaur. Normally you'd say, oh, that's a good exchange for the Dire, but given that Venno was their mid hero,
And Centaur just bought his blink.
yeah, I mean he didn't really lose much. Not too shabby. And space created. That was another big rotation for VirtusPro. They lose their top tier 1 tower as they rotated forward in the mid lane to deal with that.
And it will be the Maelstrom build coming out from the Wraith King, so some AoE to deal with the Naga illusions, checking her farm, 1700 gold, so she's actually doing very well. 2-0-1 on Illidan. I mean, it won't be the fastest ratings, but it won't be bad timing by any means.
Depends how many more times she dies between now and the Relic.
Yeah, they've been killing other people though. She's 2-0-1. She's doing fantastico.
She's 2-0-1 and she is doing well, but Q and Sane have just started to come online in terms of that Blink Dagger on the Centaur. They're going to smoke up in the jungle here. Dazzle's level 5, 3 points in the Poison Touch. Bane just now hitting level 5 as well. And once he grabs Fiend's Grip, maybe that's when they can start moving around and picking on Naga a little bit. I hope Q and Sane continue putting pressure on, because that Naga getting that decently timed Radiance will be the turnaround for
There are
VirtusPro.
4 people down here. This is a pretty scary gank. They do have Centaur out, and the 3 of the supports are actually farming the Ancients right now. Nice Ancient stacking coming up from them, but G's still super poor. Look at his item.
Judo just hops straight in. Stampede, Earl, Stampede. Damage comes out, but it's not enough. And that'll be a Vendetta walkaway from the Knicks. Another glimpse back onto Judo. This Disruptor, he's been on point. Judo's in trouble. He'll go ahead and take a shallow grave. He's going to try and port out of there. And he will survive. Well played by this Dazzle once again. And, well, that's where that fight will settle down. Meanwhile, in the mid, JOTM in some trouble. He'll lose his tier 1 tower. Chomi looking for him. Won't find him in the trees. And they'll just settle for a tier 1 tower kill. Still more space being created for Naga, which is great news. But Q and Sane are still doing a good job pressuring around the map and knocking down towers.
Yep, they just barely didn't have enough burst to kill the Knicks. At least they didn't lose Centaur though. Insane's still in a very good position. TA has not really participated in any fights either because she's been farming it with her Midas. Looking for an easy kill in the jungle, but Illidan's at full HP even if he does manage to find him. Maybe a weak support, but it's not going to be easy.
Uh-oh, JOTM almost walking out of tower range. He knows that Chomi's missing. I think he scouted out there was an invis in the bottle. So playing this very wise, staying in sight of the tower, but he's just toying with him here.
I like this TP out from Chomi. It's
Smart play.
It's a smart play. They knew he had invis. They have sentries. Nick Assassin was around. It's just not worth the risk. If he gets slept, he can just easily die at their T2 and not get a kill in return. Stampede up in 5 seconds time. Looks like they are making quick work of even more Ancients. So I think that G's actually recovering pretty nicely. There's going to be... Oh, no. He actually blocked the next stack. So no 14-minute spawn for him.
NS just denies that double damage rune there. Says, no rune for you, Chomi. Sorry, pal, but that'll be a denial. And Illidan, he's up to 2.9k. I think he'll get a Relic unchecked at this point. Q and Sane are looking for an opening to try and put some pressure on this bottom tier 1, but it's just not the right call. They need to be roaming about the Dire jungle and looking for the Naga. Even if they knock down this tier 1 tower, that's fine. VirtusPro will be happy to trade that if it means Naga can secure her Relic.
Yeah, but then they pressure the T2, and then Naga's in like, do I really want to help my team? I don't have that much mana right now. It might put her in a very compromising position. AA ult is going to fly out, though. It will connect on 3.
Yeah.
That's
Decent.
it's a Wraith King, whatever.
It's
Templar
only level
Assassin
1,
had
though.
refract up. So looks like I mean I think they just keep going. They force Naga, hey, if you want to farm a Radiance, well, you're gonna lose more than just your T1.
Yes, I
Dire's bottom
second the
tower
notion,
is under
Merlini, and they
attack.
will do just that. This is that point where the Venom wards aren't particularly scary. They're only level 3, actually, it looks like here. Yeah, an interesting build from Veno. 2-2-3 at level 8 with 1 point in the
You
ult.
need at least level 2 Poison Sting to get rid of Refract. So I can understand 2
Radiant's
points in
middle
Poison
tower is
Sting.
under
2 points in
attack.
Venomous Scale, It doesn't do damage over time at level 1, but Plague Wards are really where the hero is really strong. But they will stop, so that it is more time for Illidan. On top lane, Inquisitor is out and about. He's not really too scared of a gank. Even one mana burn won't take him to the critical mana range where he won't get reincarnated. Looks like VP will just stare at him and run away.
Did reincarnate used to be a percentage of mana instead of a flat 140, or was it always 140?
I think it used to take no mana.
Used to be no mana,
believe
just
it.
every time you could get free reincarnate.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's awesome.
I can double check. I don't know if it
Just
ever
curious.
uses take percent though.
In my head, I feel like there was a time it was, but I've learned not to trust my head with past mechanics after that whole Sand King debacle. We learned about the cast range on Burrow Strike. Shomi will be going for a BKB next on the Templar Assassin. He is level 11, still top of the charts on net worth by about 2,400 or so over the Naga, but that very well may change as now Illidan has his
Radiant's
Sacred
bottom
Relic
tower is
and
under
another
attack.
300 in saving, so it won't be too long until that Radiance pops out and he may take over the farming charts.
It used to cost 100 mana flat, but I don't know, and it used to scale 100, 150, 200, but that's as far as Dota 2 changelog goes.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking of something else then.
Aeol will fly on bottom lane. Looks like it will hit Judo.
Yep, well, we'll stand right in the middle of it. But to what avail? Disruptor, he's nearby, but
He got some trinkles up.
yeah. What do you think about Thunderstrike on Disruptor? Is it worth putting that second point in? I know they were just looking for more damage up in that tri-lane.
Usually 1 point's enough, I'd say.
Yeah, I tried a Disruptor. I was playing Disruptor last night, and I tried a build of going Thunderstrike primary. Underwhelming. Really underwhelming.
It's very underwhelming because his other skills are just much stronger. It's not that it's not a strong nuke. It's just that his other skills are way better.
Yeah, Glimpse is pretty weak at level 1. You don't realize how much leveling up that ability really makes a difference, not only for cast range, but cooldown, mana cost. It's just...
Yeah, usually
That's
he's
the
not
value
there
right
for
there.
damage. He's there for utility.
Yeah.
Sending people back, trapping people in kinetic field, and silencing them.
Yep. Down bottom, Judo in some trouble. He will take an AA ultimate. There's the Static Storm kinetic field as AA moves in. Plenty of damage, and Disruptor will finish off the Centaur War Runner. Though they might not get off scot-free. Vendetta is down, and now Nyx Assassin will get engaged upon. Shomi coming in, connects with a trap. Dazzle already used the Poison Touch. And see you later, Arzard. He'll connect with a double Impale, but it just won't be enough. He's got the Spike Carapace, trying to grab a kill on Big Num. He'll throw out the Shallow Grave. Doesn't even need it with the wand charges, but still great reaction. And this Dazzle, man, I'll tell you what, he has been on point this
AO
game.
might kill him, though. I don't know. ult's up right now in case he wants to go for it. Yeah, no? No?
He doesn't have a TP. Big Num, he's scared, you can tell.
He's casting it. Oh, it's way far back, though. He'll hit the creep wave.
Yeah, a noble effort. Well done by Big Num. You can tell he was thinking about it. He kind of stuttered back and forth. And AA just misread him.
G is Invis. He is going for Scepter. There's a Radiance Naga. That is fast.
18 minutes, yeah, after that rocky start that VirtusPro had. Maybe not in the tri-lane, but across the board.
So can they make up the 7,500 gold lead? Judo with a double initiate instantly blows up Disruptor.
Yeah, they catch Disruptor now. Arzart in trouble as the Fiend's Grip comes out. Venomancer is wrapping around the back. There's the Venomous Gale. Poison Nova. Arzart coming in now, and they'll get an easy kill on Tron. While we were watching that, it looks like TA was able to grab a kill on the Ancient Apparition in the mid lane. So it is a 1-for-2 across the map. Support's just getting obliterated. Bane in exchange for the Disruptor and Ancient Apparition.
So can they make up this 8,000 gold lead with Naga Siren farming? I think not, at least for the next like 5 or 10 minutes. Like if they fight 8,000 gold behind in a 5-on-5, they'll just get crushed. So Naga Siren has to push her super farming abilities with Radiance and try and maybe make the gold lead like 6 or 7,000 ish. I mean, Insane's gonna keep on taking towers and keep on and do Roshan right now. It looks like it will go to the TA, and who also has a BKB at this point. But as long as they can keep it below 10,000, I think they're in a good position. But if they let things get out of control, if Naga dies like 1 or 2 times for not that much in return, then VP's in really bad shape.
Yeah, and I think Q and Sam will be well advised to continue trying to push fights right now, because once the Radiance comes out, it's really a farming tool for Naga. Yes, it does some damage, but she is still very squishy. Only 1,100 hit points, has no real stat items, and they can easily just jump on top of her, lock her down with that Wraith King stun. TA goes ham with some meld strikes, maybe even a Fiend's Grip, and that's a dead Naga. Then all of a sudden, a huge amount of VirtusPro's farm just goes right out the window. Q and saying they've got the right idea. They took Roast, and now they will press forward. And oh my Lanta, I missed that kill on the Centaur. That one is my bad. I was looking at this tier 2 tower mid.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why Centaur's not with them, but it looks like they may actually fight 4 on 5 here. If Naga gets a sleep right here, oh my goodness, they are so dead. You can get like a 3-man kinetic field Static Storm, and that would be devastating.
Well, he blew Static Storm to kill the Centaur, so that's not happening.
Oh, never mind.
But good try, Merlini.
I didn't see that kill either.
It was kind of weird. They're pushing mid, and you'd think Centaur would want to be with them.
Yeah, I didn't even check the minimap.
Yeah, it's early here on the West Coast, guys.
Still, more time for Naga. 2,000 gold in the bank. Net worth still TA far on top of the Naga Siren.
I think it was a smart choice for Chomi to get a fast Midas here, especially after he got that solo kill on the Venom in mid lane. Really smart. Gives him that farming tool to try and tango with the Naga at this point, even though the Radiance is already up.
Yeah, and lets him get his BKB fast. You pretty much need a BKB to counter the Song of Siren Initiate. That's going to be impending. Yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but it can still devastate Insane in the team fight. I actually think that Centaur might need one too. He's going for Pipe. Pipe's good too. And it looks like another BKB out. So they don't really have that much for BKB. Yeah, I mean, they can focus you down with Naga Siren Ultimate, but their main thing is setup with Naga Siren is kind of going to go out the window with BKBs up.
Yep. Nyx Assassin, he has been deaded up, thinking about initiating on Chomi, but will not go for it. Judo is pretty darn close to a pipe as well, just about 500 off that recipe, which will be helpful, especially against the Venomancer. Pipe, never a bad item, also good against the AA. Inquisitor in the mid lane, in a little bit of trouble.
Oh, they get mana burn again. Ooh, he actually did not have mana for it. He got mana burn twice. So, Nick's going with the 4-4-1, I think purely for him.
Yep. But while that's happening, they do lose their tier 2 in the bottom lane. Q and Sane have done a really good job finding opportunities to pressure these towers. And that's been a big part of their gold lead against this Naga. And now it's crossing that threshold you pointed out, upwards of about 11,000 gold, 4,000 experience. And that will be a Desolator on the TA. So I worry for this Naga. She does have 11 armor, but still, Desolator and TA.
Desolator on any of those supports, 3 armor on AA, 3 armor on Disruptor. Like, TA will just destroy them.
Yeah.
We're talking about like 2-shot here.
Yeah. Smart item pickup. Dazzle, looks like he's working towards an Ag Scepter. He does have the Earnest Shadows and Power Treads out already. I like seeing a different set of boots here on the Dazzle. No Arcanes. Who's their Arcane boot carrier? Alright, they're just going to go with a single Arcane strategy with 1 on the Bane. But I like seeing that Dazzle tank up a little bit. Get you some Power Treads.
Yeah, he's been really good about positioning, though. He hasn't died yet this game, and he's not in position to get glimpsed. And he is usually in position to save the glimpse hero, too.
Yeah. Here we go. Song of the Siren comes out from Illidan. He'll just go ahead and pour it out. He's playing it safe as Chomi is about to initiate on him. But you can tell how intimidated that Naga is right away. She does not want to fight. She hightails it back to the base.
They will get a T1 in return, though, so that means that Insane is kind of forced to go into this T2 if they don't want to defend the T1, or also just be trading pretty much T1 tower for Naga Siren Ultimate, which is really, really poor.
Yeah, especially given that it is a level 2 ultimate and has that shorter cooldown. Bottom tier 1 will fall, and now Insane are pressing forward, but knowing that Naga doesn't have her ultimate.
Oh, split up your illusions, man.
They should feel a little more safe. And yeah, she's just going to suicide all of them into the wave here. That is a little bit unfortunate. Could have put a couple
They're missing out on a lot of damage with that. You can pretty much get 3 Riptides with the illusions if you...
Yeah. Or you could harass and farm at the same time. If you're not, if your team isn't interested in defending the tower, and you just want to...
Oh, here they go. They're going up the high ground. VP all TPing back. They want to defend this. As they well should.
As they well should, yes indeed. Racks are on the line. The pipe is on cooldown for another 30 seconds. So maybe not the most
This is
ideal
so
time
difficult
to
to push into.
Yeah, here we go. Judo hops forward. God, he'll blow his ultimate, but he still falls. Disruptor, he'll throw down the Static Storm, but it's on the BKB TA. So really not that potent. Glimpse back onto Judo. But again, the follow-up just isn't there. VirtusPro will hold. They'll proc the ultimate.
He's dead. I don't know why he's TPing back.
And yeah, that was kind of silly. He dies in the well.
Radiant's
Bane,
bottom
he'll
tower
survive.
is
He'll
under
port out.
attack.
That AA ultimate, man, just too difficult to push into. That was really sloppy from VirtusPro. They didn't have the Song of the Siren, and they were still able to hold.
Yeah,
Pretty
they have a
handily.
really good holding T3 lineup though. So it's pretty much how long can they turtle, because now they didn't waste the Aegis, but they aren't going to use it. So they didn't actually use it in the T3 push. So they're going to have to wait until the next Aegis if they want to make a concerted effort for the T3, unless they get huge pickoffs. But BP has not really been in a position for Naga Siren to get picked off, and Illidan I think has been playing very well on the Naga Siren, aside from not splitting his images a couple of times. But he does have a Reaver up. He will have his heart in pretty soon. He has 1,700 gold in the bank. So Naga Siren is getting huge. It's about 12,000 gold lead, but that matter if you can't break the T3. But still, Insane has better late game.
Yeah, I think they're still in okay shape. The gold graph is still moving in their favor. They haven't plateaued quite yet. Ink Visitor working towards a Mjolnir, which will help things out a little bit in terms of that static charge. And it looks like TA will be working on a Manta. Already has the Yasha up. So they're still making item progression. And there isn't as much on the dire side of things. Looks like they've got God in their sights. Stampede forward. There's the Wraithfire Bolt. No, Wraithfire Blast. Pardon me. They're committing a lot on this Veno. Well, that's an easy kill once the Desolator connects. Now Arzart. Oh boy. This Desolator is just scary. They're going to chase down the Nyx, but they might get wrapped around upon as JOTM comes in. Cold Feet down. Pardon me, Ice Vortex is all over the place, not Cold Feet.
Time to take out the Ancient stack.
Yep, they're going to jack it. Smart play.
They're trying to take out a T1. Illidan is just going to straight attack it.
Oh, JOTM barely survives. It would have been a 3-shot, but the glimpse back on the Chomi. That'll keep the AA alive. Still, Chomi showing off his damage right there.
They're getting the towers, though. Illidan will have his heart and just a little bit of gold. Did he already buy his recipe? Yes, he did. So he actually has heart. Maybe he wants to save for buyback right now. And they might get this top T1 uncontested. No, it looks like with Judo will be there. But at the same time, Insane, they can't push. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
It's true, though. I mean, look at that net worth gap. It is closing. Now TA is only ahead by about 1,500 gold, which isn't bad, but at this
You'd
point...
much rather have a Naga Siren with that much gold than...
Yeah, at this point,
TA.
it's a pretty negligible difference, and TA is just so single-target based. I think Q Insane have to hope for a pick-off here. They need to smoke. Maybe they can just hold out until Roche. It is about 2.5 minutes till he'll be coming up. It is a long Roche respawn, which is unfortunate for Q Insane. A little bad batch of RNG there. But if they can smoke up, move around, and perhaps try and pick up a couple of kills, like if they can catch the Venomancer or the Ancient Apparition outside of the base, and then press forward when they don't have buyback, that'll be their golden ticket to break the base.
I mean,
But
they got G pretty much for free on that top fight.
yeah,
So
it's true.
I don't know.
I think it might be the AA more so.
They can't
Is-
lifesteal with that
Yeah.
AA Ice Blast on either.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate indeed. And actually, it is not going to be a Mjolnir coming out. It's just a casual Maelstrom into Assault Kuros from the Wraith King. Very interesting.
Assault Kuros is nice for the base siege. They do have the T3 tower down to 1450 HP. So I don't know. I don't know if they can do enough damage to it though. Like they'll just have so many things working against them. Venom Ward's beating on them. AA ultimate, the constant threat of a Naga Siren ultimate, glimpse back if they decide to retreat. Like how do they actually push into the base?
I don't know.
Mass BKBs to focus it, they'll just get crushed afterwards.
I think their only chance is for VirtusPro to poke too far out of the base and get picked off, and they will move out of the base here as they engage on Ink Visitor. Arzart starts things off, but the follow-up won't be there. That was a big opportunity for Q Insane, of course. They didn't realize it without eyes on VirtusPro, but that's the kind of fight they need to take. They have to get the jump, and it has to be outside of the base, which is much easier said than done, of course. But yeah, I don't know if they can just break the base in a straight-up, good old-fashioned 5-man siege heading up the front line.
So what do they do? Wait for their 3 carries to get, or there are 2 carries and Centaur to get 6 slotted while Naga gets 6 slotted? Like, what's their plan here? I get
Roche and Smokes.
Roche and Smokes. That's a good gameplay for the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Yep, that's all I got. Roche and Smokes, man.
They could go Necro Books.
Yep, when you run out of smokes, I don't know what you do. Yeah, Necro Books, that's not a bad idea either. And here we go. God will get caught out. Stampede forward. Blink from the Centaur. Can they finish him off, though? Ghost Scepter doing some serious work. They'll actually burn a Fiend's Grip on it as well. Not so sure about that. They do secure the kill, so it is worth it, but that's a Stampede and a Fiend's Grip just for the Veno.
Veno's pretty important for the anti-push though. But Illidan, he's big and fat. I don't think they can push. Yeah, they don't have a Venomancer, but it's insanely difficult pushing high ground.
See what you did there.
Huh.
Naga, very close to level 16, and that's when things will get very tricky. Heart is up. She's got another 3.4k gold.
Oh, they're going for Roshan right now. Naga Siren, she has her ultimate up. I don't know if this is the right choice from Insane.
This could be bad. There's a double damage rune at the bottom position. If they had that, that could make this fight a little easier. They do have the minus armor to drop Roche rather quickly. Naga Siren. Oh, they will pick off Dazzle in the mid lane. They can't commit to this. They're just gonna. Oh God, VirtusPro. I can see it happening already. There's the Nightmare. Oh, big plays from Tron. An even bigger play from Judo as he hops forward. Hoof stomp. And there's the Song of the Siren. They will get the Aegis in the inventory of the Templar Assassin. Wraith King finishes off the Nyx Assassin. And now they'll press forward for the Naga Stampede. There's the Glimpse back, but he gets the hoof stomp off first. There's the Wraithfire Blast. Do they have the damage now? That's what it's all about. They need their TA. Where is she? She's on her way in. Looks like they'll just go for the support disruptor. Ultimate's been proc from Ink Visitor now. God, he's on the retreat. He will take a Wraithfire Blast. Chomi still has the Aegis in tow. A disaster for VirtusPro. Big plays by Bane. He's the one that made that whole thing possible.
They also preemptively used BKBs on Insane, so even if the Naga Siren ultimate had come out, she wouldn't have been able to snatch the Aegis. But Naga Siren still lives, 4,000 gold in the bank. They do get Wraith King's ultimate as well as a Dazzle and a Bane. That is not what you want, especially with the 60-second cooldown on Wraith King. So Gold League will extend to about 15,000. But Naga Siren, Manta Style almost up. But she's running out of item slots soon. Like, she gets Manta Style, she gets Butterfly, and then she gets Diffusal, I suppose. Diffusal, Scotty, Lincoln's, whatever you want to go as your last item.
Absolutely.
Or Daedalus.
Against a Wraith King, Diffusal
I mean,
is
he has enough mana, I think, to go for it. He has BKB too, so he won't be able to mana burn him.
That's a good point.
Diffusal's only like 4,200 goldish. Like, as your last item, you'd really want like something big, like huge damage that scales very, very well. Like, Daedalus is okay.
I don't think they'll have the damage. Oh, wow, he'll take a Spike Carapace. Arzar coming back in. Maybe they can secure a kill on the Chomi here. No, maybe not. The other way around. There's the Glimpse back. This is a really awkward exchange. Chomi will BKB, and now he's just going to run. Arzar's tracking him down, and he won't go for it. Yeah, you do make a good point. One of the other things to consider as well, that if you're Wraith King, you know they have a lot of mana burn, you can just hold on to your Magic Wand charges and pop them right before you die, and that will always give you enough mana as long as you don't get mana burned to finish you off.
Soul Ring's really good for that too.
Yeah, so there are little tricks that you can
use.
Or
just BKB.
Or BKB, yeah. 140 mana is not a lot.
Or just get Mjolnir and kill all the images.
Plenty of tools.
There's so many things they can do.
Yeah.
They can also grave him, so he can stay alive for a little bit longer. So I don't know. It's just.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Maybe I'll strike that one from the record.
I mean, no. It's good in theory.
Yeah.
It's just in practice, it's not going to work out that effectively.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Fair enough.
And Diffuse is really like a early mid game item. It's not your late game item. Like, would you really be scared of someone going like Diffusal as their 6th item? Probably not.
I would be a little scared if I was Wraith King.
I'd be a little scared if I were Wraith King too. But
damn it, now I got to use my BKB.
If I'm Insane though, I mean they have Centaur, they have TA too, so it's not the biggest deal if Wraith King doesn't get his off.
Yep. Well, Naga's still just farming out of control though. She's got about 4,000 gold right now after the Yasha.
I think we're gearing up for the long haul, buddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, AA almost has a Scepter. How is Disruptor doing on his? He is almost 3/4 of the way through. So both our supports having Scepter is going to be pretty big too. I don't actually know if you can pop BKB. Like, let's say he sleeps into a Static Storm. I don't know if you can pop BKB before the Static Storm. Probably not, though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
No, you can just put the storm down while you're still asleep, so the overlap is...
Yeah, but there's some weird interactions with that. Like, for example, if a Shadow Demon disrupts into a THT Ice Path, I've seen Lifestealers rage out of it. So it's... I don't know. It's questionable.
It's questionable. All right, fair
in
enough.
theory, it sounds like, yes, you should be able to, but things don't always work out in theory as they do in practice.
That is very true. So some big items have come out for Q Insane, though. TA, she's rocking that Butterfly. Evasion is up. She's hitting fast. She's hitting hard. The Assault Karas is up on Wraith King as well. They've got the Pipe on Centaur. And Dazzle pretty close to his Ag Scepter. Holy Ag Scepters, Batman. There's going to be 4 in this game.
Double damage.
That's just interesting. Don't see that as frequently as we should, perhaps.
Nope. Well, they all went like late game-ish items too. I like their their item decisions.
Here we go. Defensive weave, pipe already on. Maybe using that pipe a little bit early. The fight is not going to break out until the pipe is already like despawned here. So that will I think they need to use that pipe a little bit better. And against
Yeah,
the
they
Venom,
could use the next wave.
you can use it kind of retroactively as well. There's the Ancient Apparition. Oh, and he's actually going to overshoot. Doesn't connect with anyone.
That's a Scepter ult too, so, well, Visitor about to get owned.
And he's got himself a Shallow Grave. That'll buy him a little bit of time. Plenty of mana. But there's his ultimate, and they're not going to be able to do anything with it.
They get a T3. That's
Oh my gosh, they finished off the
That's
tower.
not
That's
terrible.
Not
That's pretty
bad.
good. They can just wait a minute and then just pretty much go again. Well,
Yeah.
actually, Aegis reclaimed in 50 seconds, so I guess at this point they would just run TA in and beat on the towers. I don't know. They'll put them in a pretty compromising position.
Yeah.
But they want to get the Aegis. I can feel their pain.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a brain fart there. But, yeah. SK ult for the tier 3. I think that's a fair exchange. I don't think that's bad.
I think that's really good for Insane. If nothing else comes afterwards, it's really good for Insane because
He's going to be all in there, too.
yeah, he's huge. He's big and fat. I mean, his ult's up in 28 seconds, so why not?
Big Daddy Skeleton King. Here we go.
Radiant's top tower
Ancient
is
Apparition
under
ulti
attack.
will connect with 3 heroes. That will buy them some time.
I think they could split push a little bit. I think they can send TA middle. She's
Radiant's
not really in
top
danger of
tower
dying.
is
Firstly,
under
she has Aegis.
attack.
Secondly, she has BKB. Thirdly, she's just really fat with Butterfly and Refraction and whatnot.
You won't have that
So-
Aegis for long.
Yeah, I think they could apply split pressure because she does the most damage to towers at this point. Wraith King went like a AoE-ish attack speed build, and she actually has the Desolator for the tower. Not that AC doesn't work, she just does a lot more damage.
So Kinetic Field already been burned. Pipe is online. And
Clear all the Venom wards!
they'll just press forward. They're going to ignore the Venom wards. They've got plenty of minus armor, no glyph available. They can just go straight for the structures. Naga, why are you not ulting? There you go. But the damage has already been done. Melee racks fall. TA stuck with the BKB on, taking some pretty heavy damage. BKB will expire, and we will.
Whoa!
What is this puppy paws happening?
What? What an inopportune time for a pause. He did not use his Kinetic Field or Static Storm, so that's not very good for VP. I think they just straight up lose this fight because
What was that Naga ult?
It was a little bit late.
A little bit. The racks were dead. They got what they came for. Even if Insane gets wiped up right now, that
Well,
would be
the
bad.
thing is, if they use,
But-
if she doesn't wait for the BKBs, then they just BKB out of Naga and just crush them. So it's looks like Chomi's gonna die though. He gets Static Storm. Oh, he gets Graved, but he's still dead.
Shallow Grave, Ancient Apparition all overshoots again.
Maybe he can try and kill G.
No, they'll get the kill on the TA. And I think Visitor just ports out. And he makes it. So, not too shabby. Centaur, he'll hop in. He finishes off the Venomancer. And it will be to little avail in terms of surviving. So that's a 2-for-1. And they get the racks. Great exchange for Q Insane.
They just need to get the Aegis cheese and then just keep at it. Just
Yep.
do the same thing.
Keep on keeping on.
Except maybe split push because Veno can't ward up two lanes at the same time. So I think that they can execute slightly better, but
I mean,
they're
I
still
didn't really feel
executing
like the
pretty well.
Venom wards did a whole lot right there.
it's super annoying to play against when you have like 8 of them. But I mean, they kind of ignored it, which is a pretty good decision from them.
I mean, it's annoying, but if it doesn't stop you from getting racks...
I mean, you have the Venom wards and you have the Ice Vortex. Those make you like really slow. We're talking about what 30% slow from the A ultimate, and then a decent amount of slow from the Poison Sting too. And that's like no one even being there. So you're moving at like minus 40% move speed as you're going up the hill, which is really
I
compromising.
guess the slow is really the big part more than the damage or anything else.
Yeah, it slows like pretty much everybody that walks up that hill.
Yeah,
It's insane.
fair point.
I don't poison plague wards. Ugh.
Plague ward. You just don't like poison in general.
I mean, I just know the pain pushing against a Venomancer with max plague wards with a Scepter ultimate.
Yeah.
It's a disaster. He just does so much damage. All he needs to do is press his R button, and he does like 2,000 damage.
Yeah. Well, Dazzle's got himself an Ag Scepter now, an interesting choice. What do you think about the Ags on Dazzle?
It's all right. It's not amazingly good, but it's not bad. And
Yeah.
also increases the radius, so
That's kind of how I feel about it. Not good, not bad. It's just bland.
it's middle of the ground.
Yeah, it's interesting. First item, I don't know. I mean, mech is not that great against Ancient Apparition, but there's always that window of time after the ultimate expires when it's still stuck on cooldown, when you can mech up and recover some hit points.
Yeah.
I would have
Book
preferred
3
to see that
would have been
before
pretty
adding.
nice.
Yeah, Necro
Or
Book as well.
even a medallion would have been nice too.
Yeah, Medallion would have been bad. I don't know that they need it.
Urns.
I'm not huge on
Oh,
Medallion
he does have urn.
on Dazzle, even though it's quite good. I think there's an urn on someone else already.
Dazzle has an urn.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
Dazzle
see
has it. Yeah.
What else could he get?
Oh, here we go. Set up in the mid lane.
Oh, buddy.
Naga Siren ultimate. Disruptor has his ulti. There's the kinetic field. 3 stuck inside. They can't BKB. This is a disaster. Big Num and Bane have already gone down. Centaur falls shortly after. Inquisitor gets his BKB off. He's doing as much damage as he can, but it'll be a 3-0 to get this fight going, and Inquisitor is not out of the clear. He gets glimpsed back. That's the reincarnate, and he'll probably die again here. Impale to start it off, and they'll have plenty of damage. TA coming in. What are you doing, Chomi? Way too brave.
They're so close to killing Illidan. Wow. I mean, that's the Disruptor Scepter right there. If he aimed for a smaller item, like mech and whatnot, then they wouldn't have won that fight so handily.
Well, TA just... I don't know what God was thinking right there. Like, yes, he gets a kill on Veno, but... First of all...
Now they concede the Roshan, I think.
Is Roche up?
It's
No,
gonna be up.
Yeah. Or... Well, what's the buyback state? This definitely won't be Rax, but they can buy back here. They might have to buy back to contest Roche, but God went in after, like, 3 were dead and Wraith King's ult was already popped. He was obviously going to die again. Hops in, goes, oh no, I can't really do this, BKB, and then says, well, oh no, this BKB still isn't enough, I better port out, but then waits too long and the BKB expires while he's still channeling the port, and they interrupt it with an Impale. Like, that was just back to back to back bad decision making for the TA. He did not need to die there. If he wanted to port out, he should have done it earlier. If he wanted to fight, he should have BKB'd earlier. Or if he wanted to just port out to begin with, he should have just ran.
Yeah, it was not good decision making. He panicked. Well, AA does have a gem. He is scouting around with Vendetta. He actually does know that Roshan is up too. And I don't know if Insane knows, but I think it's close to the max timer. So they kind of need this. They're at that point where one really bad initiation, just like what happened. Like, there were only 3 heroes clumped and it wasn't even with the TA. I think the supports also really have to watch their positioning. So it looks like Naga Siren will go for that Diffusal Blade. I would prefer to Butterfly at this point, but to each their own.
She can grab it next after she ditches that Quelling Blade, but...
It's at that point, though, where you might not get one more fight, though. Like, if they get the Aegis and the Cheese, and then they force the issue with Naga Siren, then they might not be able to fight again. So we'll see. How does this go?
God is smoked up. It'll get revealed. He knows they're in the pit. He'll throw a ward down. He gets put to sleep. Naga, does she have the Song of the Siren? Yes, she does. This time they're a little bit more spread, though. Judo gets the BKB off. They're going to go on to God. There's the Disruptor ultimate. Does connect with Chomi. He's the one that's going to be stuck, completely screwed right here. Out comes the Shallow Grave. That'll buy him some time. Venomancer has already fallen.
He needs to buy back.
Insane are doing okay at this point, and you're definitely right about that. He has it. He'll buy back. Uh-oh, didn't mean to do that.
Uh-oh, Wraith King's out of mana, though. This is really bad for Insane.
Disruptor taking heavy damage. Does he have the
Tread
charges?
switch!
He's so close!
Oh,
No,
and
they
the
finish him
Diffusal.
off.
The Diffusal finished them.
Oh, no.
I take it back. The Diffusal owned.
Yep, there you go. This is a disaster.
goodness.
Wraith King will buy back, but Big Num, he's in trouble. Hillgrave, try and pour it out. Net interrupts it. He does survive, at least for now, but the illusions will finish him off. Now Judo, he'll blink forward. He'll finish off the Disruptor. That was a pretty chaotic fight. Let's take a look at buyback status here. So there were 3 buybacks burned by the Radiant that fight. And right now they have a 5v3, or pardon me, a 4v3.
It's worth it for Roshan, though.
Yeah, if they can get the Roshan.
If they can get it. Naga Siren ultimate is up again, but he has no mana, so I don't actually think he can do it.
Yeah, AA ultimate does fly into the pit, but they have the damage. They've got the minus armor. Roche will fall.
Still, Insane's fighting a very slippery slope right now. Wraith King, he got all his mana burned. He didn't even use the ultimate. Cheese is not very effective versus AA ultimate. BKB, not that great against net. And if he doesn't have BKB, he gets mana burn to death. So maybe he just goes for mana items at this point.
Yeah.
Yo, you can get like Shivas on Wraith King. That's legit.
Yeah, it sounds goofy, but you're right. He needs that ultimate to proc, though. That is like absolute priority. And that little wand charge strategy that I mentioned, where you can just pop it right before you die, works as long as you're not getting killed by the diffusal target. Because if that's the case, then they'll have enough. They'll hit you enough times.
He could have waited until he was a little bit lower, but
Yeah.
he thought he was gonna die faster than he did.
It was very close.
Yeah, he had like 140. He had 120, and then he tread swapped to 140, and then he got defused once, and then he died.
Yeah.
I don't know if it
doing
would have
work.
swung that fight though, but still, VP no buyback use on Naga Siren. That's the big winner here. Looking at net worth, she is 26,000. That's huge. That is massive. She is a fat Naga.
Yeah, and that's a level 2 defusal. And now she's got evasion, and they have nothing to deal with that whatsoever. I mean, not to do VirtusPro for that matter, so evasion is pretty useful across the board, but Naga's going to be so much more difficult to kill now. And this is just going to be so hard. Naga,
I think they have to go for this though. Like if they don't, then Naga will just 6-slot them and Ink Visitor. Oh, Illidan.
he might get caught. There's the Fiend Script coming out. Bane, he's all right for now. Song of the Siren flies.
Oh,
And
buddy.
show me. Oh, no.
If they got Naga there with the buyback, then they can just regroup and push again. But if they, oh my goodness, Wraith King will die. He will Magic Wand in time. But all in all, they pretty much just trade Naga Ultimate for Wraith King Ultimate. And I think the game goes on. Insane's in a worse and worse shape because one Naga Siren sleep into a good Disruptor Ultimate will just win them the game.
And he ate the cheese right there as well, so that's one of their big consumables down. I feel like TA just needs a new BKB at this point. If she had a longer BKB, they probably could have killed that Naga right there, but it expired when Sleep was still active. God coming in with the Ghost Scepter. Judo hops forward, though, does some big damage. God will get scooted back, and Judo committing maybe a little bit too far for it. Chomi now taking a lot of damage. Bane's already fallen. Out comes the Shallow Grave, and the Glyph will come for the dire side as well. Judo just trying to zone them out as Chomi chunks the tower.
I don't know. I don't know why he just didn't run. He's going to die again. He doesn't have BKB. Oh, he does have BKB.
He's got his BKB, but it's only a 4-second. It's already off.
He just like straight up went for the tower during his Aegis.
And he just doesn't do enough damage now. Naga survives that Meld Strike first. He is doing a lot of damage here, to be fair, but the follow-up just isn't there. Big Num trying to get in a position to maybe throw a Grave, but won't have the cooldown. And Q Insane, they'll just get cleaned up here. Wraith King might survive. He's already made it out, but Big Num, yeah, he won't be able to port out.
That siege, though.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for Q Insane. I think Naga's just too big.
Naga's a fatty.
I mean, she's got a
She-
butterfly
she's-
now,
she's
or
too
very
big.
close.
She's about to be. She's almost 6-slotted
Yeah.
at this point. She just needs like 200 gold. So now TA doesn't have buyback. Doesn't have money for the buyback. Wraith King does have money for the buyback, but it's gonna cool down in about 2 minutes time. And one
Radiant's
item on them
middle
is not
tower
really gonna
is under
change the
attack.
game. They really need buybacks. They really need to kill Naga Siren, but they can't. She's just too big. 3,000 HP almost, 23 armor with evasion on top. And wow, Bane actually grips the illusion. Ink Visitor might die here. Oh my goodness.
He's dead.
He has. Wow,
This is a disaster.
this is really bad for them.
Yeah. I think they've expired their window of opportunity. Now they'll press forward. Judo gets caught in the net. Trung gets finished off by the next assassin. And Judo will be able to BKB. That might keep him alive for now. AA ult will fly off the mark.
Naga Siren too strong, man.
Yeah, but
Naga Siren AA Disruptor Vena. They have like one of the best turtling lineups I've seen.
yeah, with Veno AA in this kind of where they have another support, the fact that this game went on long enough, they had great turtle abilities, and now that they have Ag Scepters on these 3 heroes, it's just
Well, and they have good anti-BKB too. That's the biggest part. They have Ensnare, they have Song of the Siren, they have Disruptor Ultimate, they have Ice Vortex, as well as Plague Wars and Venomous Gale. Like, all these things will mess with you while you're BKB so that you can't actually kill anybody during it. They did a fantastic job of kiting Insane all day, every day, even through their BKBs, and killing Wraith King a couple of times.
yeah. Show me, yeah, he'll get picked off. This Disruptor, man, the Static Storm kinetic field is just too much.
Safe word.
And,
Disruptor's a good hero, man.
God.
He's still underrated.
Yeah. I mean, VirtusPro could probably just push up the mid right now if they really wanted to. They don't need to do it, though. They'll just back out. They will take out the tier 2 towers, but...
Naga Siren sitting on 7,000 gold.
And she still hasn't picked up the butterfly quite yet, so it'll dip down, but... Critical mass indeed.
11, 0, and 13 on Illidan.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he just buys his butterfly, he TPs to this T2 tower on the left side, and just ends the game. They don't really have anything. Chomi's still down for a good 50 seconds. They might as well capitalize on that. Looks like Illidan is trying to buy his butterfly. There it goes. 3,000 gold. He will have buyback even if he dies right now, so There's
Radiant's top tower has
almost
fallen.
no way that Insane can win
Oh,
this.
Inquisitor. They'll use a sleep just for him.
Radiant's middle
He
tower is
BKBs.
under attack.
Will do what he can. Throws the Wraithfire Blast.
I think he will respawn though. Oh no, too much mana burn.
No, he will
Almost.
respawn. It's a close call. Judo comes in with the BKB, doing some damage to God. Disruptor zoning him out. He'll finish off the Bane. Inquisitor will walk away. And now Judo. He'll be the target of choice. And I think that's all she
Too much
wrote.
damage.
Yep.
Too much deeps. Inquisitor gets glimpsed back, and that is pretty much it.
He gets graved, but
Radiant's
that'll be
middle
it.
tower is under
And
attack.
I think you and Sane are about to tap out. There you go.
That was a pretty good
GG.
game though.
Yeah, 50 minutes of gameplay. Can't complain with that one.
Naga Siren too strong.
Yeah, Q and Sane, they had a. I think they played it pretty well overall, but looking at the stats, 13, 0, and 16 on that Naga, that just shows how little Naga.
They need
was
more
spreading.
towers.
Top barracks has
Yeah.
fallen.
Like I don't know what one item would have let them tower siege. They got BKBs. They had minus armor for the towers. They didn't have any necro books. That might have been an issue, but I don't know if that would have been enough to break the second T3. They did a very good job on the first one, but that's because Naga wasn't fat. And then once Naga got fat, they could not contest the second one.
Right, and yeah, there was just such a big window of opportunity where that Naga was just.
They had too much.
Running
They had a
around.
lot of single target, but that's more of a draft issue.
Mhm.
Like even Wraith King with Mjolnir is not enough to deal with a six-slotted Naga.
Yeah, and, I mean, they did have some pretty clutch plays though. There was that really sick sleep from the Bane outside that Roche fight, and that set up the whole. That's where it looked like almost Q and Sane could take a victorious triumph there, but unfortunately they just couldn't translate it into the win. They even got one lane of racks down. I feel like this has been the story for Q and Sane throughout this tournament, where there's now 0 and 9, but they've put up a lot of really good games like this.
They should have split push. I think that's the one thing that they could have done better that they didn't actually do. They just like barreled down one lane, kept getting knocked down by A ultimates.
Yeah, I
Venom
guess they
Wars
could
and
have put
whatnot.
TA in another lane. They just didn't have a
Yeah.
great split pushing lineup. That was the bigger problem.
TA can just. Well, who's going to solo a TA? No one on their team except for Naga.
That's
But
true. And they need Naga to deal with the 4 with the sleep.
Right.
So, yeah, okay. Fair enough.
That's.
Fair enough.
I think that's the only thing that I see that was wrong with their play. That I mean, I don't even know if it was wrong because I don't know if split pushing would have worked out. But it is another option that they could
That
have
they
considered.
didn't try. Yeah,
Right.
very true.
Other than that, though, I mean, like I think item builds were fine. You kind of have to get a BKB versus Disruptor and the Naga Siren. You need the blink on him. You need Wraith King to deal with the illusions. They had minus armor. I mean, I think they built correctly. Maybe an Necro Book on a support, but that's very small in the grand scheme of things. I think split pushing is the only thing that I see that they did wrong, aside from drafting and not being able to cope with the Naga Siren
Jesus,
late
dude.
game.
Naga Siren did 46,000 damage to heroes that game.
Yeah.
That is so much. I shouldn't be surprised, but that is so much. Like, to give you a point of reference, Centaur did 16, Disruptor did 13, Veno did 25.
TA and Wraith King did almost 20,000 each.
So Naga did as much damage as TA and Wraith King combined.
More.
More damage than the two of them combined. That's insane.
Well, Venom did a lot too. 25,000 is a lot. See, that's the thing about Venomancer. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just like press R.
Go
And how hard
Scepter
is that?
R and try not to die. Yeah.
Yeah, and place your Plague Wars, but that's not very high. I don't know. I just don't like the hero in general. It makes it too easy to defend bases.
He's not your style.
Nah, he's not my style.
So we've got another game coming up, guys. It's scheduled to start in just about 1 minute, so we'll have a short break. And then coming up next will be Fnatic versus Team Ahead. Sayori with me today is Merlini, and plenty more Dota 2 action coming your way.